Well, good afternoon. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. I'm really glad you could join me today here out in the vegetable garden. It's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. Actually, it's starting to cloud over a little bit. But anyhow, I wanted to share with you today some tips and ideas on how you can plant jalapeno pepper transplants in your vegetable garden. So thanks for joining me today. And so follow me along. I'm going to show you where I'm going to be planting these jalapeno pepper plants. So I'm going to be planting these jalapeno pepper plants right here along the side of my 18-foot by 30-foot garden bed. And so on this side here on the end, I'm going to be planting a 6-pack or market pack of eggplant. And then right here on the very end, in these two spots, I'm going to be planting the jalapeno pepper plants. So I ended up buying this transplant here from Ray's Nursery nearby. And this is a jalapeno variety. You know, they always come with a little label here with some helpful information. So it says it matures in 65 to 80 days and fruit size is 3 inches. It says it produces thick-walled, hot fruit that matures from green to bright red. It's best in fertile, well-drained soil kept evenly moist. And so, you know, here in our Plant Smart Living gardens, I use the composted leaf mulch amended with topsoil. And then I also use alfalfa pellets that I work through the soil. And then with a lot of my greens too, I also use a soy meal fertilizer. And so these are plant-based fertilizers. And so you know, whenever you get a market pack, it never hurts to pull the plant out and just to inspect the root system, make sure it's not root bound, that it hasn't been in the container for too long. And so I'm growing these in my black plastic mulch. You know, it holds the heat in and it holds the moisture, and of course it suppresses the weeds. You know, when I use my black plastic mulch, you know, the weeds are a thing of the past. You also can use it organic mulch like straw or grass clippings, newspaper, sawdust. You know, those are other options you could use to, you know, help hold in the soil moisture. So anyhow, I had already went through and worked the soil, loosened it up with my garden fork, and so I'm simply just going to take these 2 pepper plants and plant these right here, both on the right side here. And so I'm going to just simply take my hand and make a hole, and then just lightly, you know, I press around the plant with my 4 fingers. Again, planting is really something very easy to do. You could also plant these in garden containers. You just want to make sure your plant gets 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. Your greens can be grown in partial shade. And so I have some greens over there, some lettuce and some Swiss chard growing in partial shade, just as an experiment and to show that that's something you can do. You don't need 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. So with those planted in the soil, you know, you simply just want to make sure they're well watered. And so, you know, these plants are peppers and melons, tomatoes, they're heavy feeders. And so you want to make sure you keep them fertilized throughout the summer. And I also have a plastic garden fork that I use as a label. I wrote jalapeno on here, so I can remember what variety this is. And so I'm going to put a little label here on both of these plants. Of course, once the fruit comes in, you're going to know what variety it is anyhow. So anyhow, that's pretty much what it takes to grow your jalapeno peppers. You know, we love our bell peppers and our jalapeno peppers. And so, you know, we use our jalapeno peppers in our chili, and or beans, and you can use it in a lot of different dishes. So anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the section below. And it's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. We're going to be getting some rain later, and so that rain's always nice for those tiny little seedlings out in the garden. So anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.